is my father. I never saw his face, but I have seen his grace. They say that when I was born, I made king's feathers. Ironically, the first to honor my birth was a barnyard's four-legged silence of livestock. Meanwhile, the voices of two-legged beasts stalked my livelihood. On my birthday, I was embraced by wise men from the east, while the foolish from the west disgraced my invite with their folly. I was just a stillborn baby that could make the world stand still. I knew the presence of motherhood from the moment I felt their heartbeat. But the presence of fatherhood was a faint scent that I had to constantly familiarize myself with. A distant scent of a memory that could only be chased by feelings. Eventually, I realized that it could only be caught by love. There was the presence of another man. He was my father, but just a bit further. When I looked into his eyes, our hungry souls both searched for each other. Though we were incomplete like chaos, our existence was orchestrated by the completeness of a string of divine order. We were tied together like hair strands on fertile skin melanated by faith, almost as though our difference was a common denominator. Yet, he loved me. No matter how common we were uncommonly shaped. He had a button nose, but his was different. His was a little obscured. And he knows. His hands passed down fingerprints of a carpenter while mine could turn water into wine. All the while, the memories we created and the bonds we shared were finally caught up by love, simply because he cared. See, growing up, I had many in my presence, but I yearned for the presence of only one, a figure that shaped the corners of my identity. I had an idea of who I was, but I still could not identify with who he is. The paragon personified in flesh and blood, and the blood that cleanses stains but claims those stains. Because his DNA runs through my breath and my spirit. And I became his before the moment he uttered the words, "You are my son." Therefore he became mine before I could say, "You are my father." He transcends the genetics of flesh and blood and made me an adopted heir to a throne of a kingdom that no man can touch. I became a son. I became a son of a son who embraced the Son of Man, who became the Son of God, that all men could be called sons, saved by the Son of Man. My DNA is vested not in flesh and blood, but in the spirit of the one who first called out my name before they knew I had a calling. That's why when I look back to my DNA, I realize that in him, I am alive, not dead. For I am a son of a father.